We're back with one more Telecaster wiring arrangement. I did a video just a couple weeks ago, a week ago or so, where I had this guitar in it and it was wired with the tone control on the bridge only, and the neck was no tone control. So you had neck with no tone control, you had the middle with no tone control, and the only tone you had was on the bridge. And as I played it in that video, I said, you know, I would really like to flip this around because I want the tone on the neck. And I demonstrated why I like that. And I used that a darker tone on the neck for things like Western swing stuff and a more acoustic rhythm sound. My feeling is you should get yourself a neck pickup that you like. In other words, a lot of people don't like tone control of the neck because the neck pickup on a Telecaster tends to be kind of dark to begin with. And my feeling on that is find yourself a pickup that's not dark. Find yourself a pickup that you can work with. If you've got a stock Telecaster like this blonde one back here that's wired in a very traditional manner with very traditional no-caster pickups, the neck pickup is a little bit dark, but it's still usable for me. These pickups are Lindy Fralin and from Callahan, and they're the ones that are frozen. I got them in a trade many years ago. They went in this guitar, and they were fabulous in this guitar. They really sound good. But before those, I had a humbucker in here. I had a P90. I had Strat pickups. I had the Stefanos. I had the Lion Strat pickup in here. I had all kinds of different neck pickups in there trying to get a good sound. And this Fralin pickup has a good sound all by itself. My feeling then, again, is to get yourself a neck pickup that you can use the tone control on so that you have a really good pickup. Don't hesitate to pop a Strat pickup in there if that's what it takes, you know. Doesn't have to have a metal cover. Clarence White didn't have one. Clarence White had a Strat pickup. I used to actually have a Velvet Hammer setup like that, and it has a Strat pickup. So anyway, I still have a couple of them. Anyway, but when I got to the Fralins here, they sound really good. So my feeling, get yourself a neck pickup that you can like, that can give you a bright sound. They don't have to be dark. All right, with all that said, what I decided to do with this guitar, as I sat there and I talked about it in the video, I said, man, I really want to do this. And then afterwards, it was like, it's just one wire. Just go out there and move the wire from the tone control on the bridge to the tone control on the neck. But at the same time, I pre-wired a small capacitor on the bridge here to the ground pot. So it's the same as if you had the tone off just a little bit, 20%. I think I used a 23. Yeah, I think I used a 023 capacitor. You have to play with it to find out how much you want to take off and how it sounds with your pickup and your amp and all that kind of setup. But that's the setup I got now. We're going to run through it real quick, and I will show you why I like this so much better than I did having no tone on the neck. So we're going to start with the neck pickup, and my tone is going to be all the way up right now. And take a listen to this, okay? That's a nice sound. That's neck pickup all the way up. I could definitely play on that, you know. Yeah, it's got some tone to it. My hands are so dry, I cannot hold on to the pick. The humidity outside is about like 10% right now. My hands are dry. So... That's your neck pickup. with the tone rolled off. So let's roll the tone all the way up. Let's roll the tone off and listen to this sound. See, that's that smooth, fat, almost an archtop guitar sound. It's a nice sound. And here it is, it's almost an acoustic sound when you're doing a more open chord rhythm. That, to me, is just such a nice, full rhythm sound. Warm. Again, shooting for like almost an archtop guitar sound. I'm going to bring the treble up all the way. Tone is all the way up now. Let's do that same thing. So there's a more aggressive, trebly sort of thing. A little too much for me for that'll be where I want it. It's got pretty good pop in there, you know? Pretty good spike. Roll the tone off. You know, it's just amazing to me what a Telecaster can do. It's using the tone, but you can see why I wanted the tone on the neck, because I've got all that wide variety of stuff that I can do out there. I haven't even switched off the pickup yet. That's all on the neck pickup. That's a good neck pickup. Let's go to the middle. Now when I go to the middle, tone doesn't work. No tone. I'm getting both of these pickups wide open. And that's a nice, that's a wide, clean sound. That's a very good sound. And I said that before in the other video when I got to that, because that tone is the same on the two. So, but I said, that's a good sound, you know. It's a little bright for Western swing maybe, but it's tolerable, you know. It's pretty good for the lead sound. That's a little, I know when it's coming through the mic here, it warms it up a little bit. Sitting here playing it, it's a little bit brighter than I would like for that. I would go to the neck pickup with the tone just a little bit off. And here we go again. Okay, here we go on that. The neck. that's a little fatter. I like that a little bit better. That's just a little bit more arch top jazz guitar sound. So, but the middle is good, you know. Crank it all the way up. It's got some good rhythm sounds to it. It's pretty nice. I like having the volume control the tone a little bit. So in other words, I do not have a high bypass cap on this. So as I turn the volume down, the tone is going to change a little bit, and I like that. I like being able to get a little bit different. So just the difference in tone between wide open let's roll it off just a little bit. A little bit more. Wow, I mean, that's a big difference. You know, as you get the volume off just a little bit, it starts sounding more like archtop guitar thing, a little bit less raunchy. Kick that volume up, and it gets raunchy, you know. Pretty good. Okay? Let's go to the bridge. The bridge is no tone, but it's got a preset capacitor, so. Plenty of snap. I mean, I would not want to get a whole lot much more snap than that, but when I go to the bridge, that's the sound I want to get out of the bridge, and I don't want to vary the bridge a whole lot more than what I'm getting out of here. That's the sound I want out of the bridge, and that's it. You got to remember that I come from an acoustic guitar background, so I don't have volumes, knobs, switches, and all that stuff on an acoustic guitar. It all comes from the right hand, and comes from playing closer to the bridge, closer away, farther away, how hard you hit it, just all those things like that. So I am pretty comfortable in varying my tone with the picking itself. How hard, a little bit of volume goes off. So I don't necessarily sit here and roll my tone back and forth trying to get a tone. I move my hands. I change the way how hard I play, mostly on electric guitar. So I'm not a great electric guitar player. I'm just saying, for my style and need of playing, this is a setup that I like a lot, because I can go to this sound, boom, immediately, and I don't have to mess with the tone control. So in other words, I leave that tone control right there, and I go up to the front. Got a nice warm sound. Big fat sound. Switch immediately back here. I don't touch the tone, I understand the thing. Boom. I go to that sound. Then I can modify it. Okay? This might be when you get up into the high registers up in here. The bridge might be a little bit too snappy right now. So like this. But when you use the B bender, you need that snappy tone. Because when you use a B bender, you're working out of a chord shape. So you've got multiple notes going. So you want that snap. So let's do that again in the middle position here. It sounds good. You know, you can use that for something, but if you want the pedal steel, the Clarence White sound, you come up here and you get that punchy, snappy sound. Like that. And that's the kind of sound I like out of that. Now, if you drive this volume knob up just a little bit more and we push that a little bit harder, it gets a little bit too distorted, I think. It's a little too hot. A little bit too hot for that, for me at least. So roll that volume off just a little bit. And that is the sound I want to hear. So, alright, I'm very happy with this setup, and like I thought in the other video, I thought, yeah, I'm going to be a lot happier if I have the neck, where I can come up here and get the almost the Strat neck sounds. And I'm going to use that tone quite a bit, and I'm going to change it from a fat, that sort of sound, and I'm going to roll it off and get the Western swing sound. That's amazing, isn't it? To this. I mean, it's a Jekyll and Hyde guitar just by using the tone knob. But again, I've got a neck pickup that I like. I've got a neck pickup that sounds good, responds, and does the kind of thing I asked for it. So get there. So, all right, really super happy with this guitar. Now, if I had standard Telecaster wiring here, like the blonde Telecaster back there has, where you just have, where you have a tone control all the time, and you have a volume control all the time, and you have the neck, and you have the two pickups and you have the back, you could be pretty happy with that. But what I like about this setup is the ability to go back and forth between the sounds with the click of the three-way switch, and I don't have to really think about anything else. That lets me focus on playing the guitar itself. And especially when you're dealing with a B-bender, you're kind of focusing on that bender sound. You know, what am I going to be doing with the bender here? And I don't want to be messing simultaneously with tone controls and things like that. I'm going to pretty much set it for three sort of sounds with the option to maneuver the neck sound a little bit depending on how I want to do it. And then I'm going to simply play the dumb guitar. And so I find that having a setup like this, where I'm going to put that tone right there, and I'm going to probably pretty much leave it alone, and then I'm going to get my sounds by flipping the switch back and forth, and it's so simple. And when I go to the neck, I've got that sound. I've got that sound right away. When I go to the middle, I've got that sound right away. And then when I go to the neck and the tone's right there, maybe off a little bit more. So I did that before. That was fun. Big variety of tones instantly. That lets me focus more on playing the guitar and doing the bender thing and focusing on that. So that's why I really like this on this guitar. On that blue Telecaster over there, it has a P90 in the neck. So I like having a blend pot on that, because the unique thing about that guitar is having the P90 in there and a really hot Telecaster pickup. So the unique thing is being able to blend those two sounds together in whatever mixture you want. And then everything else is kind of a bonus onto that one. And go look at the video on it. And then the blonde Telecaster back there is just as traditional of a Telecaster as I could do. And so you go to it, and you've got the traditional wiring and the traditional ways. You've got the tone that you can use as a wah-wah. So that's kind of a thing that one has. You got the tone as a wah-wah, and that's a thing that you can play with. So they're all set up a little bit different to play to their strengths, and that's the way I feel that I like guitars set up that way. I want to know what the strength of the guitar is, and the strength of this B-bender guitar is, of course, the B-bender. So I'm going to wire it in a way that I can quickly take advantage of that unique sound of the bender. And the blue Telecaster, the unique thing is having that P90 in the neck, so it's wired in a way that I can maximize the uniqueness of that thing. And then the blonde one there is our standard. You've got to have a standard, and there's nothing wrong with that blonde Telecaster. I mean, go watch the video where I compare all three of them, and I said, this thing, it's got some game. So, all right, that's it for the wiring. These guys are staying just like this for a while. But I learned a lot from doing this, and I learned what I like out of a guitar. And I think that's what I'm trying to express to you, is to think about what it is that you might like out of a guitar. And don't be afraid to change the wiring to emphasize the uniqueness of a guitar. And I feel that the only reason to have 3 Telecasters or multiple guitars or multiple whatevers is because they should have a unique sound. If they all sound the same, well, then it's just a backup guitar. But if they have a unique sound that you can get out of them, then that's the value of having them, having the multiple guitars. Let them explore their strengths, you see. That's how you create geniuses. You let them go. You let them go and chase their strengths down. You don't try to make them all mediocre. And so that's what I'm doing here. I'm letting these guitars chase their strengths. So, bye-bye.